Hi, everybody. Welcome back. And today I'll be covering this problem, backspace. So this problem is actually very simple, but after reading everything right here, so like such as like the introduction and also the explanation, I got a little confused. So the best way I understood it was going directly down here to the example space. Okay. So basically, what this problem is basically asking for is saying to look at each character in the string, and for each character, if it is an actual character, then you add it to the stack or you add it to an array. Now, if it is less than, so this sign right here, then you pop or remove the last value within the stack array. So that's basically what the problem is asking. At the end, you just return whatever is in the array. So that's what the problem is asking for. But at first, when I read all of this, I got a little confused. So that's the problem, the understanding of it, the concept, and then in like more pure science term, if the character is a letter, then you print it to the array, and otherwise, if the character is less than, so a sign, you backspace, so you remove the last character from the array, and at the end, you just return the array. A good example will be going over this example right here, A B C D. So at first, we'll add we'll add A to the array, and then since we have the sign, then we'll remove A from the array. After that, we have B. We'll add B to the array. We'll have C to the array. After that, we'll remove C because of the sign, and after that, we'll just be left with B. So yeah, but with this problem, there's a few edge cases we have to make sure to check. So let's say the array is empty, then in that case, we'll just ignore the fact, so we wouldn't have to remove it. And then yeah, and then let's say we have two of them instantaneously. So we'll just look at one at a time, one at a time. And yeah, so a little pseudocode of this will be at first initialize like empty array. And after initializing an empty array, we'll loop to each character within the string. And then we'll check to see if the character is not equal to the sign, this less than sign. If it's not equal to a less than sign, then we'll just print whatever character it is to the result. Otherwise, if it is and the result array is not empty, uh, if it's not empty, then we'll just pop it. Yeah, at the end, we'll just return that value. So now let's implement. So at first, we got to have our read, our input. So our input right here states that it needs to be a string of length n, which contain lowercase only. So in that case, it will just be the input s, and then we'll just type it. Okay, and then now we'll have a result right here. It'll be an empty array, and what we'll do is for characters in s, say for character in s, if the character in s, if this one character in s is not equal to sign that we don't want, so this sign, then we will append that to our array. Otherwise, not we can't use else because it has to be a elif res. So elif res will check to see if it's actually there's something in the array. If it's empty, we'll just continue. So elif, then we'll just res, we'll just pop it, and then at the end of the array, we'll just print, and then we'll use joint to transform it from an array to a string, and then yeah, no space in between. So join will just transform it from array to a string, and this should work. And I also forgot to mention I'll be using Python for the implementation. So yeah, so using this, you see how it's empty. That's correct. And then right here also we have 40, and then this is actually correct too. And then for the last test, so the this and this also B. So yeah, this is a working solution. It's actually very simple than it looks at first when I looked at it. Like I said before, I thought it was very complicated. The time complexity of this problem will be big O of n, and also the space complexity in this case would be big O of n also because we have an array, and then we're manipulating the array. So we're adding stuff and we're removing stuff from the array. So this was more of like a stack list problem. It's something in between of that.